we like to call it the Supernatural Hour. And now, our hosts.
We wish you a Merry Krampus. We wish you a Merry Krampus. We wish you a Merry Krampus. And we're glad you're all here.
Find me something to throw at this guy.
Tim's got news on stones, and Jan's been in homes. Castle's looked at bird news, and Brandy's here too. Hey, welcome to the Supernatural Hour.
Good Lord.
This will be the last episode
I'm on that one. We're all sitting here in shock.
This will be our Christmas episode.
So this will be the final episode that Castle makes an appearance on the show, because after we're done recording, we are going to kill him.
Hey. Or at least give him music lessons.
That was a fantastic song, and you guys know it.
Right. Let me pull up my laugh track on my phone.
Would you?
Nope, because I don't have one.
Busted. Welcome to the show. Tonight's show is going to be a good show. It may be a short show, but it's going to be a show. What else do we have news-wise? Anything else on the agenda other than our sold-out ghost hunts? So we've got fun events around the corner. We've also got some other ghost hunts doing the works. We're hammering out details. There's always something to do. We've always got something planned or something on the horizon. Now that we've got business out of the way, Tim, let's talk about Stone of the Week.
Okay, so the stone that we have for this week, we're getting back onto my list of the top 5 here. I believe I've already talked about obsidian, and I've talked about amethyst. So this week we're going to talk about selenite. One of the reasons why I like selenite is because of this particular stone. It doesn't hold negative energy at all. There's no possible way for it to hold negative energy. This stone will actually take that negative energy and just kind of release it back as positive energy. It takes it from the other stones. It cleanses your other stones. So if you have a stone like, say, obsidian, for example, one that kind of absorbs negative energy, the selenite will be able to cleanse that stone and remove all the negative energy that's on it. Another thing that this stone is actually good for is if you wear it in jewelry, such as a necklace or a pendant, it can also ward off toxic energy and prevent your light from being sucked away by energy vampires. And I know that we said we're going to talk about energy vampires. We'll probably do that on a later episode, but that is another thing that selenite does. It kind of just helps people from stealing your energy. But those are actually, let's see. Another cool thing I thought about, I like about the selenite, is it received its name from the Greek goddess of the moon, Selene. Its meaning is easy to see when it reflects light, often appearing as a rock fallen direct from the moon. One of the things I did find fascinating about this is this stone can actually be found in all parts of the world, but they say if you're looking for a specific piece of selenite for healing properties, you want to find the long and clear pieces of selenite that come out of Mexico.
Selenite's kind of one of my favorite stones. When people ask me what stones I need to investigate, the two stones I usually point them towards, just kind of the catch-all generic best to have with you stones, are obsidian because it does absorb negative energy, and selenite because it does protect and it can cleanse that nastiness that the obsidian picks up. One thing that's interesting about selenite is you can actually find it in a lot of places. One of the other names for selenite, and it's a form of selenite, it's gypsum. There's actually a mine down near St. George on the Utah-Arizona border called the Glitter Mine. Now, the owner of that mine has got mineral rights with the U.S. government, so he actually owns the mine. And there's a great big humongous wall. It's literally a wall of selenite in the side of a red sandstone cliff. I've actually been down there. I've actually got a milk crate full of selenite that I collected down there. And they've come out and said that they really don't care if you pick up selenite off the ground. If you go down to it's called the Glitter Mine. They don't care if you go just pick it up off the ground. They just don't want you down there with a jackhammer and a wheelbarrow chiseling away at the selenite wall that they have there. Now, what's interesting is you go down to this pit where this mine is at. There's like these humongous, almost like dirt clods, and there's obvious smaller pieces of selenite about the size of maybe $50 or a silver dollar, just kind of laying all over the place. But there's these dirt clods, and if you look real careful, some of these dirt clods are actually big, like about the size of your fist or both your fists put together, chunks of selenite. They're just covered in dirt. You just have to be willing to kind of dig through the dirt clods to figure out which ones are actual dirt clods and which ones are humongous chunks of selenite. But selenite is one of those stones that I definitely recommend that people take with them on their investigations.
You know, the other thing that's kind of cool about selenite, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if you're looking for like a kind of a cool like table lamp, obviously one I would suggest would be a salt lamp. But I don't know if you've ever seen a selenite lamp lit up, but when those things have the lights in them, they look beautiful.
They're amazing.
So that's another thing that you can do is just kind of, you can buy one of those selenite lamps and use it to decorate your home.
Which I also have right next to my bed on my nightstand is a big selenite lamp. It's one of my personal favorites. So speaking of homes, Deanne, what about recent investigations?
We really haven't had any. We did one. It was actually a revisit of a home that we've been to before, and not really anything crazy going on. Just some residual things, some residual energy that she wanted taken care of. So we went and took care of that.
So what was the original story with this home? I mean, what got you guys there the very first time? What kind of things did they have going on?
So this was one that Brandy and Tim actually came out with us on in Harriman. I think the last one you came with us on.
Okay, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and she had what sounded like furniture being thrown around on the patio, noises and thumps she would hear in places. And just had some concerns that it wasn't all gone. And so we went out and we took one of our new investigators out there to let her see how we work and us see how she worked, and we got it taken care of.
So when you guys got out there the second time, what did you guys find? What kind of things were going on still?
She was concerned because she has a small child in the home that had some scratches on its back. And we determined that there was a portal on the staircase. All three of us got out our dowsing rods, and we asked each of our spirit guides the same question. We kept getting the same answers. So we closed the portal on the stairs. Through the portal had come some Native American spirits and a type 3, and the type 3 was controlling the Native American spirits kind of against their will, but they were trying to kick the pricks a little bit. So there was definitely some tension between them and the type 3, but we salted them out.
Fantastic. Anything else happen while you were there?
No. Right, one thing I just wanted to say about the residentials, we do have a couple more in the work. We have run across people, I've had people call me recently that are terrified to tell me about what's going on. So if you know someone who is, experiencing things and they're afraid that no one's going to believe them, have them call. I had this lady call and she hemmed and hawed and beat around the bush for about 10 minutes, and I finally stopped her and said, you know what, I will believe you, just tell me what's going on. So if you or if somebody you know is hesitant because they're afraid they're going to get laughed at or not believed, just have them call, have them email, have them contact us through the website, and we will get you taken care of.
It's interesting you say that because we've all been doing this for years, and there's a huge difference between I have paranormal activity at my home and I've got the mental illness. And really, all the paranormal activity is fairly similar. So, I mean, if you are hearing noises, you're seeing shadows, you're getting woken up in the middle of the night, you've got scratches, things of that nature, we're going to believe you. If you think it's paranormal, it generally is probably going to be exactly like something else we've dealt with somewhere else.
Yeah, this lady that I spoke to, when she finally told me what was going on, I said, yep, that sounds pretty typical. Yep, I mean, it wasn't anything that I thought, ooh, you're nuts.
It's when you start telling us that your dog is reciting the alphabet backwards in German, that's when we start asking some other questions.
If your dog's 1,000 years old and he's telling you to kill people, name that serial killer.
That one I don't know.
Son of Sam.
Good job. Don wins 10 points.
That's right, Son of Sam.
David Berkowitz.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that we have dealt with some people who have contacted us who obviously suffer from some mental illness, and bless their hearts. But there's definitely a different note to mental illness.
I would say that's probably been like 1% of our clients.
I can think of two, maybe over the course of our doing this, that I would
That's still it's a very low percentage of our clients have.
Yeah, I can literally say two. And I honestly deal with people with mental illness on an almost daily basis with my job. There's a day and night difference between somebody who's experiencing paranormal and mental illness. And so if you got something going on, tell us. You're not going to tell us anything that's weird if you're experiencing paranormal activity in your home. All right. Anything else, Dan?
No, I think that covers it. A little bit of a slower 2 weeks this week.
We are going to now talk about weird paranormal news. And the two stories that I picked today are not really ghost related per se, as they are just kind of weird. And so we are going to run with it. First one deals with the hurricane that hit Puerto Rico a few years back. People in the area are saying that a creature has savaged and sucked the blood out of livestock, and they believe it has escaped from a U.S. testing site. The Chupacabra, which is Spanish for goat sucker, is a legendary creature in folklore in parts of the Americas. The first reported sighting of the beast came following the 1985 Hurricane Louis that struck in Puerto Rico. Following the violent storms, locals claimed to hear loud screams in the middle of the night before waking to find their animals mutilated. Some even declared they got a glimpse of the animal, causing havoc in the local area. It was described as being a human-like creature with spikes on its backs. Since the original report, countless eyewitnesses have claimed to have spotted the creature all around the world, from America, Paraguay, and even Russia. One bizarre theory came to light where people claimed that they basically saw U.S. government officials capture the creature and secret it away into a van before driving away. This has led people in Puerto Rico to believe that this creature is actually a U.S. government experiment that escaped during the hurricane. After 5 years of investigating, a journalist, Benjamin Radford, shot down the claims. He believes that basically the claims were from faulty eyewitnesses, mass hysteria, and things of that nature. So basically, people right now in Puerto Rico believe that there's a chupacabra running around and is an escaped science experiment from the U.S. government.
Okay. I guess it's possible.
So we were watching a show, it's been a few months ago, where they thought that they got some video evidence of this creature. And they showed it. It was pretty cool. I don't know if it was actually a chupacabra, but I didn't recognize it.
With how much the government hides from us, it's entirely possible that they've got some little creature that might have escaped.
You know, it's I'm always kind of on the fence on how much really truly weird stuff our government has out there and how much we as a people in general just invent and make up. I don't doubt that they do toy with some genetic stuff. I just don't know if it goes to that extreme where they're like created X-Men type monsters in labs somewhere. But time will tell, I suppose. The next story we have is about a secret base on the moon. A U.S. airman.
Is it on the dark side?
It is on the dark side of the moon, believe it or not. A U.S. airman claims he was left terrified after viewing a photograph on the dark side of the moon, which exposed alien-built structures. Sergeant Carl Wolf had top-secret clearance and worked with the Tactical Air Command at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia in the U.S. in 1965. He was drafted into NASA's Lunar Orbiter project. He worked as a precision electronics photographer repairer and was sent to fix equipment for the space agency. However, it was during this time he claims another worker showed him a bombshell photo. We walked over to one side of the lab, and he says, "By the way, we found a base." I said, "What do you mean, whose?" He then pulled out a photo and showed the base with towers, buildings, and things that looked like radar dishes. At that point, he says, I was terrified and a little frightened. Shortly after coming out with this information, in October, Wolf was killed during a horrible bike accident in New York. Cops have launched a probe into his death, but no charges have been filed against the driver. Conspiracy theorists believe that Wolf was murdered to silence his bringing out that he'd seen this moon-based photograph. So like I said, not really paranormal, but kind of interesting. Aliens and conspiracy theories.
All right. Two of my favorite things, minus one of them, because I'm not really into aliens.
I'm not really into aliens either.
But I do like a good conspiracy theory.
Yeah, well, conspiracy theories and aliens go hand in hand, Tim.
I guess they do.
Pick something.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I was going to go with Stairway to Heaven, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a Christmas song.
Donations for music lessons can be sent to...
All right. Well, we're going to call that a slightly shorter episode than
Rocking
usual.
around the Christmas tree. Have a happy holiday.
And do Rudolph. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Do Krampus. Krampus the goat horn demon. Had a very hairy back. And if you looked and saw it, there were kids inside that sack.
Oh, Jesus.
That's awesome for just coming up with that on the top of your head.
All right,
job.
everybody. Thanks a bunch. Merry Christmas. So, thanks, everybody.
You've been listening to the Supernatural Hour at AdvancedParanormal.com. The Supernatural Hour is part of the Radio Ronin network found at RadioRonin.com. Copyright 2021 by Advanced Paranormal Services.